This video series will focus on basic combos that deal a good amount of damage, build decent meter, and can be easily pulled off in the middle of the match without the need for assists, otherwise known as bread and butter combos. In this introductory video, I'll go over some basic concepts that apply to most of the cast so that I don't repeat myself too much down the line. The most important takeaway that I want to make clear is that I am not the end-all be-all of information. Like most fighting games, Dragon Ball FighterZ will continue to evolve as players open up the game and advanced mechanics will be discovered as more time passes. Not to mention what any balance updates will end up doing to the individual characters. This series is simply meant to be a starting point for beginners who are looking to further themselves past relying on auto combos. As always, refer to description below to skip ahead in the video. Starting your combo with light attacks helps a lot because they come out quickly. They're difficult to stop before they start and are great at interrupting your opponent's attempts. Generally speaking, starting a combo off with light attacks will drop your overall damage output. If you can catch your opponent off guard and open them up with a medium attack, then you can significantly increase your damage. You can even continue to use light attacks later on in the combo as well. What's important is what attack you use to open up your opponent. On the other hand, starting with medium attacks is far more difficult because you leave yourself more open if you're blocked. It's all about balancing risk and reward. Most combos in Dragon Ball FighterZ rely on a technique called jump canceling. This requires the player to interrupt their own attacks mid-combo by jumping into the air. Some situations will not allow for this, the exceptions being the standing medium attack and most normal attacks in mid-air. To jump cancel, press up just as you land the medium attack. Your character will then immediately jump. The same idea goes for jump cancels in mid-air. Most characters can press down heavy to launch their opponent skyward and immediately cancel the rest of the animation with a mid-air jump to continue the combo. Be careful not to rapidly press up as you may end up double jumping, which could jeopardize the combo as double jumps are required later on. That said, you can rapidly press up if that helps you initiate the double jump itself in mid-air. After all, you cannot triple jump, so it's okay to do that here. Continuously tapping the light attack button in mid-air will perform an aerial auto combo. The attacks themselves are the exact same thing as pressing light, medium, and heavy in sequence. However, the auto combo will also automatically correct the player in front of their opponent. This is a massive help in continuing combos as you don't have to worry about whether or not you've jumped too far past or too low below your opponent. The auto combo will ensure that you stay on target. Just be careful not to press light too much or you'll end the combo with an unwanted heavy attack that sends your opponent back to the ground. For some characters, this is actually beneficial if they don't have an aerial special attack or super move to rely on, so they can simply mash the light button to easily end the combo. The typical combo will begin on the ground and later lead to a launcher and then an air combo. However, keep in mind that the air combo section can be executed off of a Dragon Rush or Super Dash. If you haven't used your double jump before executing the move, then this can also be incorporated into a combo for extra damage. Dragon Ball FighterZ is designed to be a very aggressive game, and this is easily shown in the lack of defensive options, such as Advancing Guard from Marvel vs. Capcom or Perfect Guard from Guilty Gear. As such, a player who is stuck blocking doesn't have a whole lot of options to work with. They simply have to react carefully to their opponent's actions and wait for an appropriate opening, either with an attack of their own or with a reflect option. If the player on offense is too aggressive and ends up leaving themselves open, then the player on defense can turn the tables. Because this game is so fast, it can be difficult to spot those openings, but they do exist. It's up to the offense to make their approach seem ambiguous, and that might even include leaving themselves open on purpose for a while in order to bait out an attack. It's up to the defense to recognize when the opening occurs and take full advantage of it, all without falling into the offense's trap. If your opponent keeps spamming their super dash, counter it with a Down+Heavy. This is pretty universal across all characters. Best of all, the Down+Heavy can then immediately go into a super dash and then an air combo. Be careful not to spam the Down+Heavy either. If your opponent blocks it or otherwise reacts to it appropriately, then you'll be left wide open. Assists are powerful but risky options. They can be used to cover your approach, to keep your opponent blocking, or for some unique utility, like Krillin's Senzu Bean or Android 18's Shield. That being said, using them recklessly will leave your teammates open to attack and unable to defend themselves. The exception is when they are specifically used for extending combos. As long as the combo continues properly, then they are perfectly safe. Unlike Marvel vs. Capcom 3, your assists do not have lower defense. They receive the same amount of damage as if they were out into combat normally. Still, it is quite punishing to deal significant damage to an assist since your opponent will be hesitant to switch characters when everyone's health is low. It's typically best to save your meter unless you're positive that you're going to be able to finish off an opponent. Even if it takes a full 7 meters, getting a kill is huge because moving on with one less character on a team can easily change the odds of a match and be a massive detriment on the receiving end. Saving your meter can also help with certain situations, such as utilizing a vanish attack or switching characters while guarding. It's also really nice to get a drop on an opponent who's left himself wide open by throwing out a surprise level 3 super. However, if you notice that you're sitting on 5, 6, or even 7 full meters, then it's a good idea to go ahead and end a combo with a super move regardless of whether or not it will kill. You'll add on some extra damage, and in all likelihood, you'll get that spent meter back before long. On top of that, if the situation calls for it, you'll have about 4 or 5 meter to fall back on just in case. As a quick final note, it's important to remember that, as far as I can tell, every character has the same amount of health with no varying defensive values or anything like that. Full health is a flat 10,000 points across the board. As such, it's easy to calculate damage on a percentage base. Place a % sign here and a decimal point here, and there you go. If you can pull off a combo that deals at least 5,000 damage, then pulling it off twice will net you a kill. By the same token, even if you only manage to deal about 4,000 damage in a single combo, then at least you'll know that your opponent will be on the brink of death after 2 combos. Just be ready for when they decide to switch characters. In the upcoming videos, I'll break down beginner-friendly combos for specific characters. If you have any requests, please let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to fulfill them. And be sure to carry the discussion further as well. If you know a better way to carry on the combos or techniques that you see, share it with others. Not just in the comments below or on YouTube or whatever, anywhere you go for online forums. Keep discussing the game and sharing strategies because that is how fighting games thrive. Thank you for watching my guide on Dragon Ball FighterZ. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe.